Okay, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on this wonderful planet of ours. We're in Chapter 2 of Human Resource Management. My name is Professor Roft, Trends in Human Resource Management. So today's learning objectives are to describe trends in the labor force composition and how they affect human resource management, summarize areas in which human resource management can support the goal of creating high-performance work systems, define employee empowerment, and explain its role in modern organizations, identify ways human resource professionals can support organizational strategies for growth, quality, and efficiency, summarize ways in which human resource management can support organizations expanding internationally, discuss how technological developments are affecting the human resource management, and explain how the nature of employment relationship is changing, discuss how the need for flexibility affects human resource management. Change in the labor force, in the internal labor force, which is defined as an organization's workers, which include its employees and people who have contracts to work at the organization. Internal labor force has been drawn from the external labor market. The external labor market, individuals who are actively seeking employment. The number and kinds of people in external labor market determine kinds of human resource available to the organization. And I'm telling you from a human resource background, it's hard to find good people. The outside, there's a lot of competition for them. And of course, fortunately, many organizations don't have the resources to really attract the talent that they need. Changes in the labor force. We have an aging workforce. I mean, just look at, you can Google it, ChatGPT it, whatever it, look at the average lifespan of a man and a woman in the early 1900s. You'll be shocked. Women live close to 50, men more like 46 or 47. Today, with the advent of advanced medications and surgical procedures, people are living longer. Not necessarily better, depending on the person's choice, health choices, but people are living into their 80s, late 70s, mid 80s, 90s, and even past that. So the workforce itself is aging. Now, within an aging workforce, you have great things. You have people with a lot of experience. And you want to retain those people as long as possible because they're the core. They're the ones that are going to be teaching the younger generation if they're interested in learning, of course. So today we have an aging workforce. Workers aged 55 and older continue to be the fastest growing workforce group. The number of young workers between 16 and 24 is decreasing. Human resource management considerations are planning retirement and how to replace them, retaining older workers. I love older workers. I love employees that are in their late 60s and 70s. They make great employees. Motivating workers whose careers have plateaued, and that's kind of hard. People burn out. Controlling the rising cost of healthcare and other benefits and attract and retain young workers. And it's hard. Younger workers always looking to improve, and some of them, present company excluded, I hope, are trying to take shortcuts to success, which is a very, very difficult thing to do, of course, and not very advisable. Within this changing labor force, within this aging workforce, today's workforce often brings 4 or 5 generations together, and it's difficult for them to kind of interact. Some people, people in their 70s don't understand people in their 20s. They just don't. I myself have a hard time understanding them, but I understand them better than people 10 or 15 or 20 years older than me. Older workers may choose to work part-time or take temporary assignments, create a need for understanding the values and work habits that characterize each generation, and HR managers need to address generational differences by familiarizing themselves. All right. Okay, as more and more of the workforce reaches retirement age, some companies have set up mentoring programs between older and younger workers so that the knowledge is not lost but passed on. The aging workforce, look at figure 2.1. It gives you the pie charts. And of course, look at yourself, the and the sources, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We move on, change in the labor workforce. We have a diverse workforce, growing diversity in race, ethnicity, and gender. Fastest growing racial group is multicultural. Fastest growing ethnic group is Hispanic. Immigration is an important source of growing diversity. And HRM considerations regarding immigration, supply and demand for labor, and need to comply with laws. Projected racial ethnic makeup of 2031, whites will encompass 75% of the workforce population. African Americans will encompass 13, and Asian and others 12. A diverse workforce, basically the considerations that human resource management has to understand within the realm of diversity is use talent, skills, and values of all employees. Staffing selection should not be should not use biased tests. Employees' non-work needs should be met with flexible schedules. Educate employees on cultural differences and stereotypes. Encourage career development for ethnic groups and women. Provide benefits such as elder care and daycare to accommodate the needs of a diverse workforce. Some of the practices to support diversity. Here we have, let me just expand this slide. It's a little bit small here. I had it. Okay, so basically communicate the benefits of diversity to management and employees. Corporate strategies ensure leadership commitment and buy-in, measure DEI efforts. And again, DEI has unfortunately been misconstrued. In my opinion, the way that you get DEI is by creating a wonderful workforce, a great place to work. And by doing that, you won't consciously have to have self-imposed quotas, X amount of these people, X amount of those people. When you have an amazing work environment, everybody wants to work for you. So I believe, in my personal opinion, make the work environment unbelievable, and then you will have DEI, a natural organic DEI. Recruitment and hiring, develop recruitment metrics around diverse hiring. Recruitment and selection, take steps to attract diverse candidates and ensure interviews and tests do not discriminate. Compensation and benefits, ensure pay equity and broader range of benefits. Employee relations, create work environment that provides a sense of belonging and fosters creativity. And development, commit to develop high potential employees with different backgrounds and abilities. Changing the labor force. Skill deficiencies of workforce. Physical strength and mastery of machinery no longer as important. Desired skills today are mathematical, verbal, interpersonal decision-making, computer technology, which some people lack. Many employers accept candidates without an education, then offer training to correct any skill gaps. Manufacturing companies are looking for people who can operate sophisticated computer-controlled machinery. So it's not like it used to be 50 years ago where you were living in a less computerized world, more of an analog world. High-performance work systems are organizations that have the best fit between social system, people, and how they interact, and technical system, equipment, and process. Trends in high-performance work systems, reliance on knowledge workers, and empowering employees to make decisions, and of course the use of teamwork. So the top 10 occupations for job growth. Most new jobs, home health and personal care aides, right, home attendants, and this runs in tandem with the fact that people are living longer. As they live longer, they need home health aides. I know because my mother passed away this year, but my father is in a state where he needs 24-hour help. So there is a huge need for that. Restaurant cooks, software developers, fast food and counter workers, general and operations managers, waiters and waitresses, registered nurses, laborers and freight, stock and material movers, stockers and order fillers, market research analysts, and marketing specialists. The fastest rate of growth are nurse practitioners, NPs are hot job, wind turbine service technicians, ushers, lobby attendants, ticket takers, motion picture projectionists. I'm not sure what that is. I think it has something to do with the mechanical aspects of making movies. Restaurant cooks, data scientists, athletes and sports competitors, information security analysts, statisticians, and believe it or not, umpires, referees, sports officials. Umpires make a lot of money in the major leagues. Check out the salaries online. Okay, knowledge workers. The main contribution to the company is specialized knowledge such as in customers, process, or profession. Have a position of power. Employers need the knowledge they possess. They often have many job opportunities, even in slow economies. Some argue that all workers are knowledge workers. Training the existing workforce. Upskilling refers to training employees to improve or expand their current skill set. Reskilling involves training employees to acquire new knowledge or skills. The pandemic forced companies to match workers to new roles and activities. Employee empowerment. Employees are allowed to make more decisions. They share in resulting losses and rewards. Leads to more innovation and sharing of ideas. HRM practices such as performance management, training, work design, and compensation should be considered. Employee engagement leads to higher productivity, better customer service, and lower turnover. Shifts the recruiting focus away from technical skills and toward general cognitive and interpersonal skills. Teamwork increases employee responsibility and control. Virtual teams rely on communications technology to stay connected and coordinate activities, and can motivate employees by making work more interesting and significant, and may lower labor costs. And being agile involves weaving the development process into the organization's activities and strategies. Okay, focus on strategy. Human resource management must support company strategy by aligning policies and practices with company goals Those can never be at odds with each other. Supporting company decisions through quality improvement programs, mergers and acquisitions, restructuring, reengineering, outsourcing, and international expansion. Figure 2.4, business strategy, issues affecting HRM, high quality standards, mergers and acquisitions, expanding into global markets, and of course, cost controls. Focus on strategy, mergers and acquisitions. A merger is where two companies become one. Acquisitions, one company buys another. And human resource must be involved in resolving inevitable conflicts between companies and, of course, practices. High quality standards. Many companies use TQM, provides guidelines for all the organization's activities. Quality improvement can focus on HRM functions, applying data to improve business process. TQM core values, methods, and processes are designed to meet the needs of internal and external customers. Every employee receives training in quality. Quality is designed into product or service to prevent errors from occurring. An organization promotes cooperation with vendors, suppliers, and customers to improve quality and hold down costs. Managers measure progress with feedback based on data. Cost controls. Some organizations have a low cost, low price strategy. These organizations rely on human resources to identify ways to limit costs of maintaining a qualified, motivated workforce. Now, those making sure salaries are competitive but not inflated. HR must lower costs without compromising quality. And that doesn't mean getting people at rock bottom pricing, because you get what you pay for. If you don't pay well, you don't get good employees. HRM can help the organization use human resource more efficiently and make human resource management processes more efficient. Human resource management can support efforts to downsize, re-engineer, or outsource to control costs. Downsizing, human resource management challenge to surgically reduce workforce, in other words, layoffs. Most valuable employees should be kept, but they are often willing and able to find other employment before layoffs. And many of them get a whiff of a layoff coming and they leave, thus leaving the organization bereft at the end. Early retirement programs are humane, but they are essentially reduce the workforce with a grenade approach, which of course is not good. Human resources must boost morale of remaining workers, open communication necessary to build trust, notify employees of reasons for downsizing, and provide downsized employees with outplacement services to have a human veneer to the organization. Figure 2.5 illustrates the number of job cuts announced by employers during the past decade. See it for yourself. Focus on strategy, COVID-19's impact today. The COVID-19 pandemic caused a major layoffs and furloughs in U.S. business in 2020. I know for a fact. Thank God I wasn't affected, but my wife lost her job for a few months and it was very difficult. Continues to impact business operations, including human resource management, and Congress passed several pieces of emergency legislation to lessen the blow from this catastrophic event. And although we're not in the pandemic anymore, the after effects are still here. What is reengineering? Reengineering is a complete review of a company's critical work processes to make them more efficient and able to deliver higher quality. Effects on human resource management, how HR accomplishes goals may change dramatically. HR must design and implement change so that all employees will be committed to the re-engineered organizational success. Often results in employees being laid off or reassigned to new jobs. Outsourcing is defined as contracting with another organization to provide services, gives company access to in-depth expertise, is often more economical. HR helps with the transition to outsourcing, and many HR functions are also outsourced. Expanding into global markets, the global workforce offshoring moves operations to a country where pay rates are lower. Reshoring reestablish operations back to the country where company is headquartered. Hiring from developing nations has some challenges: lack of familiarity with technology, corporate practices, political and economic instability affect on motivation and recruitment. International assignments, expatriates, employees assigned to work in another country. HR must select expatriates carefully and help prepare them to work internationally. Good candidates understand and respect the cultural and business norms of the host country while having language skills and technical ability. Figure 2.6 talks about where immigrants to the United States came from in 2021. Many came from North America, and of course Asia, South America, and Africa. Technological change in HRM, improve accuracy and efficiency, support strategic and day-to-day decision-making, help avoid lawsuits, provide data for evaluating programs or policies. Some companies call their HRIS a human capital management system, which is the Human Resource Information System. That's what HRIS stands for. Cloud computing expands use of HRIS, and organizations can set up an intranet to protect information. Automating HR tasks, and of course, automating HR tasks mean the reduction of HR staff. Employee selection software can analyze interviews to provide data about candidates' behavior, associate particular characteristics. Workforce planning software can analyze hourly pay to identify and predict situations in which companies are paying for overtime. To see if companies paying too much overtime, that means they're clearly understaffed, pointing to opportunities for better workforce management to reduce this expense. Compensation and payroll system maintains information about salaries, bonuses, and other pay, and automatically computes taxes and benefits costs to be withheld, keeps pay records up to date, and shares information with banks receiving direct deposits of workers' paycheck. Orientation of new employees. New hires at Royal Bank of Canada use a pre-boarding system to get information about the job, their team, and the company culture, which is great. This way they come in with knowledge and training. Training modules are available online for employees to download as they identify relevant skills they want to learn. A training system may also include information about career paths and necessary skills for each. Many years ago, I was involved in this industry, and it is a vital part of the success of an organization. People analytics, the use of computers to analyze large amounts of data and offer information to guide decisions. Artificial intelligence can improve HR decisions in performance management, DEI initiatives, and teamwork and job processes. Sharing of human resource information. Employees can now access much of HR info through self-service, especially convenient when combined with mobile computing devices also being used for management tasks such as compensation and performance management. Focuses on employee enablement. An HR dashboard is a display of how the company is performing on specific HR metrics. Using mobile devices. Access to an HRIS from mobile devices is helpful for employees to work outside the office because they can receive and share information online easily. The benefits of products such as smartphones are enormous, but is it possible to be too accessible? Yes, and that's where work-life balance that have issues. Change in employment relationship, a psychological contract, unspoken expectations of both employee and employer in today's world. Employees expect to take responsibility in careers. Employers expect to provide perks in exchange, flexible work schedules, comfortable working conditions, more control over their work, training and development opportunities, and financial incentives. In recent years, more people are job hopping, staves off boredom, and wins rapid increases in pay and responsibility. Declining union membership has been declining since the 1980s, consistent with individuals taking responsibility for their own careers. Flexibility allows an organization to quickly meet changing needs. Globalization has made the 40-hour work week obsolete. Alternative work arrangements include independent contractors, on-call workers, temporary workers, and contract workers. In the gig economy, workers are typically independent contractors who control when and where they work and often are assigned to work through a website or mobile app. So everybody has their own gig like a musician. All right, thank you very much for joining us. This is the end of Chapter 2 for Human Resource Management. Have a good day.